Reading is one of the best ways to improve your vocabulary, understand English better, and feel more confident when you speak. When you read, you see how words are used in real sentences. You learn new expressions, improve your grammar, and even think in English. Many people believe that learning English is only about speaking and listening, but reading is just as important. It helps you recognize words faster, understand sentence structure, and learn how English is really used. In this video, we will talk about why reading is important and how you can use it to improve your English every day. Let's get started. 2 benefits of reading to learn English. Reading in English is one of the most powerful tools for improving your language skills. It helps you learn new words, understand grammar naturally, and develop better comprehension. Let's look at some key benefits of reading and how it can transform your English learning journey. Expanding your vocabulary. One of the biggest advantages of reading is that it introduces you to new words in a natural way. Instead of memorizing long lists of vocabulary, you see words being used in real sentences. This helps you understand their meaning, usage, and context. For example, imagine you are reading a short story and you see the sentence, "The little boy was thrilled to see the fireworks light up the sky." Maybe you don't know the word thrilled, but from the sentence, you can guess that it means something like excited or happy. This is how we naturally learn new words, by seeing them in context. Another benefit is that reading helps you recognize synonyms, words with similar meanings. If you read different texts, you might see words like happy, joyful, excited, delighted, and thrilled used in different ways. This expands your vocabulary without needing to memorize everything. Improving grammar. Grammar rules can be difficult to learn from textbooks, but reading makes it easier. When you see well-formed sentences in books, articles, and stories, your brain starts to recognize the correct structure of English naturally. For example, if you read a sentence like, "She has been living in London for 5 years," you are seeing the present perfect continuous tense in action. Even if you don't fully understand the rule yet, your brain is absorbing the correct way to form a sentence. The more you read, the more familiar you become with grammar structures, word order, and sentence flow. You also learn prepositions, in, on, at, articles, a, an, the, and verb tenses, just by seeing them used correctly in different contexts. Over time, this improves your speaking and writing without having to study complex grammar rules separately. Enhancing comprehension skills. Reading is not just about recognizing words. It helps you understand ideas, opinions, and emotions in English. When you read, you train your brain to process information in another language. For example, imagine you are reading an article about climate change. You might not understand every word, but by focusing on the main ideas, you can still follow the topic. This skill is important for real-life conversations where you won't always hear perfect, clear English. Even if you don't understand every word in a text, you can still get the meaning by looking at the title and headings, the main words in a sentence, and the tone. Is it serious, funny, or informative? By practicing reading, You develop the ability to guess meanings and understand full ideas without needing to translate every word. Improving writing and speaking skills. Reading also makes you a better writer and speaker. When you read, you see how sentences are structured, how paragraphs flow, and how ideas are connected. This helps you express yourself better when writing or speaking. For example, if you read a novel with a lot of dialogue, you learn how people naturally have conversations in English. You can see how they ask questions, respond, and express emotions. This helps you when you have to speak in real situations. If you read a lot, your brain will also start to recognize common phrases and natural expressions. For example, instead of saying, "I am very tired," you might read and learn the phrase, "I'm exhausted." This makes your English sound more natural. When it comes to writing, reading helps you see how to organize ideas, how to use punctuation, and how to make your writing more interesting. If you read stories, articles, or even blog posts, you can notice how good writers keep their readers engaged and apply the same techniques in your own writing. Learning about culture. Reading is also a window into English-speaking cultures. Many books, articles, and stories give you insight into traditions, customs, and everyday life in countries where English is spoken. For example, reading a short story set in the United States might teach you about Thanksgiving or American high schools. Reading a British novel could introduce you to afternoon tea, London culture, or British humor. Learning a language is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's about understanding how people think, act, and communicate. By reading in English, you develop a deeper understanding of different cultures, which helps you connect with native speakers and feel more comfortable using the language. As you can see, reading is a powerful tool that helps you grow in many areas. It expands your vocabulary, improves your grammar, strengthens your comprehension skills, and helps you become a better speaker and writer. Plus, it gives you valuable cultural knowledge that makes learning English more meaningful and enjoyable. Now, let's move on to how you can start reading in English effectively. How reading helps practical communication. Reading is not just about understanding words on a page. It directly improves your ability to communicate in English. When you read regularly, you absorb sentence structures, new vocabulary, and natural expressions, all of which help you speak more fluently and express yourself clearly. Let's explore how reading can make you a better communicator in English. Reading and effective communication. Have you ever struggled to find the right words when speaking English? This is common for many learners. The good news is that reading helps you build a mental library of words and phrases that you can use in conversation. When you read dialogues in books or articles, you see how native speakers communicate. You learn how they greet each other. "Hey, how's it going?" instead of "Hello, how are you?" How they ask for information. "Could you tell me where the station is?" instead of "Where is the station?" And how they respond naturally. "Sounds great," instead of "That is good." By seeing real conversations in writing, you learn how to structure your own sentences naturally. Over time, this makes it easier to communicate in real-life situations. How reading helps you speak more fluently. Fluency is about speaking without long pauses or hesitation. Many learners struggle because they translate from their native language before speaking. Reading in English trains your brain to think in English, which speeds up your speaking process. For example, if you read a lot of English stories, your brain gets used to common sentence patterns. When you speak, instead of thinking, "How do I say this in English?" your mind already knows the phrase, and you can say it quickly and naturally. Imagine you read this sentence in a novel. "I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the beautiful sunset." Later, in a conversation, you don't have to build the sentence from scratch. You already know the phrase, "I couldn't believe my eyes," and can use it naturally. "I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the fireworks." This is how reading makes speaking smoother and more automatic. You absorb sentence patterns without memorizing them. The impact of reading aloud on pronunciation and rhythm. One of the best ways to improve pronunciation and rhythm in English is by reading aloud. This technique helps you get used to the sounds of English and develop a more natural speaking flow. When you read aloud, you practice pronouncing words correctly. You hear yourself say new words, which helps you remember them and speak with a natural rhythm. English has a unique stress pattern, and reading aloud helps you get used to it, building confidence. For example, if you read this sentence out loud, "She was absolutely thrilled to receive the award." You notice how some words are stressed, thrilled, award, while others are spoken quickly, "she was." This helps you sound more natural when speaking. A great way to practice is by reading along with an audiobook. Listen to how a native speaker reads a sentence, then repeat it. Try to copy their pronunciation, rhythm, and tone. Reading helps you think in English. When you read often, your brain gets used to English sentence structures and expressions. This means that when you speak, you don't have to translate from your native language. You already have the words in your mind. For example, if you read a lot of books where characters say, "What do you think about it?" it becomes a phrase you naturally use in conversations. "What do you think about this movie?" Or, "What do you think about my idea?" Instead of stopping to think about grammar rules, you just say it naturally because you've seen it many times in reading. Conclusion of this section. Reading is a powerful tool that improves your speaking skills, helps you communicate fluently, and even enhances your pronunciation. The more you read, the easier it becomes to express yourself naturally in English. Next, let's talk about the best reading materials for English learners. 4 tips for choosing the right reading material. Choosing the right reading material is very important when learning English. If a text is too difficult, you might feel frustrated and stop reading. If it is too easy, you won't learn much. The key is to find materials that match your level and interest. Let's explore how to do this. Choosing texts for your level. When selecting reading materials, always consider your English level. If you are a beginner, A1 to A2, it's best to start with graded readers. These are books written specifically for English learners, using simple vocabulary and grammar. Short stories and simple stories with everyday language help you build confidence. Children's books, use clear sentences and basic words, making them perfect for beginners. Comics and graphic novels. The pictures help you understand the story, even if you don't know all the words. For example, if you are at an A2 level, instead of reading a complex novel, you can start with an adapted version of a classic story like Alice in Wonderland or The Little Prince. These books are rewritten with simpler vocabulary for learners. Tip: choose a book where you understand at least 80% of the words. If there are too many difficult words, try an easier book. Choosing topics that interest you. Reading is much easier and more enjoyable when you choose topics you like. Think about your hobbies and interests. Do you love sports? Read articles about your favorite team? Are you interested in travel? Read about different countries and cultures. Do you enjoy music? Read song lyrics and their meanings. Are you curious about science or history? Find simple books on these topics. For example, if you love football, you can read articles about Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. This way, you learn new words while enjoying the topic. Tip: search for blogs or websites about your favorite topics. Many online articles use simple language, making them great for learners. Using different types of reading materials. Reading different types of texts helps you learn English in many ways. Here are some great options. Books help improve vocabulary and grammar. Blogs and online articles teach informal and conversational English. Magazines provide real-world English used in daily life. Audiobooks help with pronunciation and listening skills. For example, if you read a book and then listen to the audiobook version, you can see how words are pronounced and improve your listening skills. Tip: switch between different materials to keep learning fun and interesting. Conclusion of this section. Choosing the right reading material makes learning easier and more enjoyable. Pick books, articles, or blogs that match your level and interest, and try different formats to improve all aspects of your English. Now, let's move on to how to develop good reading habits. 5. How to incorporate reading into your daily routine. Learning English through reading is not just about choosing the right materials, it is also about making reading a habit. Many learners struggle to find time to read, but the key is consistency. Even small efforts, when repeated daily, can lead to significant improvement over time. In this section, we will explore how to make reading a regular part of your life. Setting daily or weekly reading goals. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to set clear and realistic reading goals. These goals help you stay motivated and track your progress. How to set a goal. Start small. If you are not used to reading in English, begin with 10 minutes per day or one short story per week. Gradually increase as your reading improves. Challenge yourself to read a full chapter or a longer article in one sitting. Use a reading log. Keep track of what you read. Write the date, title, and new words you learned. For example, goals for beginners, A1 to A2. Read 1 page per day from a graded reader. Read a short news article every morning. Finish 1 book per month designed for English learners. Learn and review 5 new words per reading session. Practical tip. Write your reading goal in a journal or set reminders on your phone to keep yourself accountable. Creating a strong reading habit. Turning reading into a daily habit makes learning English natural and automatic. Here are some ways to make reading an essential part of your routine. Choose a specific time for reading. A habit is easier to build if you attach it to something you already do. Pick a consistent time each day for reading. Morning. Read a short article while having breakfast. Afternoon. Read during a break at work or school. Evening. Read a book before going to sleep. If you connect reading with another daily activity, it will feel effortless over time. Use technology to help you read more. Ebooks and apps. Apps like Kindle, Libby, and News provide access to books and articles at different levels. Online articles. Read the news in English using websites like BBC Learning English. Audiobooks. Listen to the audio version while following the text to improve pronunciation and comprehension. Create a comfortable reading environment. Make reading enjoyable by creating a good environment. Find a quiet and relaxing place with good lighting. Keep a dictionary or notebook nearby to write down new words. Practical tip. If you struggle with distractions, put your phone on silent mode while reading. Integrating. Reading with other activities. Many people say, "I don't have time to read," but the truth is you can include reading in your daily routine without adding extra time. Here's how. Read while waiting. Instead of scrolling through social media, use your waiting time to read. For example, while waiting in line at a store, for an appointment, or for food at a restaurant. Read while commuting. If you take public transport, use that time to read a book or an article. Even 5 minutes of reading can help you improve your English. Read before sleeping. Many people find that reading at night helps them relax. Choose a light and interesting book to read before bed. This habit can help you sleep better and learn English at the same time. Conclusion of this section. To make progress in English, you must read consistently. Set a small but achievable goal, turn reading into a habit, and integrate it into your daily life. Even a few minutes of reading every day can make a big difference. 6. Overcoming challenges. When reading in English. Reading in English is an excellent way to improve vocabulary, grammar, and comprehension, but many learners face difficulties that slow their progress. The good news is that every challenge has a solution. In this section, we will explore 3 common obstacles and practical strategies to overcome them. Challenge 1. Unknown words. One of the biggest difficulties when reading in English is encountering too many unfamiliar words. This can make a text feel frustrating and difficult to understand. However, there are effective strategies to deal with unknown words without interrupting the flow of reading. Strategy 1. Guess the meaning from context. Instead of stopping at every unfamiliar word, try to understand its meaning from the sentence. Many words can be understood based on the surrounding information. For example, the bright and dazzling sun made it hard to see. If you don't know the word dazzling, you can guess its meaning by looking at the rest of the sentence. You already know that the sun is bright and that it makes it hard to see, so dazzling probably means something very bright or intense. How to practice context clues. Look at the words before and after the unknown word. Pay attention to synonyms and explanations in the sentence. Look at the whole paragraph, not just one word. Strategy 2. Use a dictionary wisely. While dictionaries are helpful, using them too often can slow down reading and make it feel like a chore. Here's how to use a dictionary effectively. Read the sentence first and try to guess the meaning of the word. Underline or highlight difficult words instead of stopping immediately. Look up only the most important words, especially those that appear many times in the text. Tip: use an English dictionary, like Cambridge or Oxford, instead of translating every word into your native language. This will help you think in English. Challenge 2. Lack of motivation or time. Many learners struggle to find time to read or feel unmotivated to continue. The key to overcoming this challenge is to make reading fun, convenient, and rewarding. Strategy 1. Find materials that interest you. Reading should not feel like homework. If a book or article is boring, it will be hard to stay motivated. Choose materials that match your interests. For example, love sports, read football news in English, enjoy cooking, try English recipe blogs, like Mysteries, if that's a blog name. Start with short detective stories. Instead of forcing yourself to read a difficult novel, you could read a comic book or a short travel blog in English. Over time, this will help you stay engaged and motivated. You will feel more comfortable with longer texts. Strategy 2. Use short reading sessions. If you think, I don't have time to read, try this. Read for just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Instead of trying to read a whole chapter, use waiting time on the bus, in a queue, or during a lunch break. Set a daily reading goal, even if it's just a few paragraphs. For example, Monday, read 2 paragraphs of a short story. Tuesday, read a simple news article. Wednesday, read English song lyrics and their meanings. This way, reading becomes part of your daily routine without feeling overwhelming. Challenge 3. Difficulty understanding long texts. Long texts can feel intimidating, especially if they have complex sentences or many new words. Here are some ways to make them easier to understand. Strategy 1. Break the text into sections. Instead of trying to read everything at once, divide the text into small parts. How to do it. Read 1 paragraph at a time and summarize it in your own words. Use a highlighter to mark important sentences. Focus on main ideas first, then details. For example, if you are reading a story with 5 pages, don't try to read everything in one sitting. Instead, read 1 page per day and take notes. Strategy 2. Read aloud and take notes. Reading aloud helps you hear the rhythm of English sentences and improves pronunciation. Taking notes helps you remember key points. How to take notes. Write down the main idea of each paragraph. Note 3 new words per page and try to use them in a sentence. Write a short summary after finishing the text. Tip: if a text is difficult, read it twice. The second time, you will understand much more. Final thoughts on overcoming challenges. Reading in English will always have challenges, but with the right strategies, you can make steady progress. Remember, don't stop at every unknown word. Try to guess from context. Make reading interesting by choosing topics you enjoy. Break long texts into small sections and take notes. By following these techniques, reading in English will become easier, more enjoyable, and more effective. Now let's move on to the final section. How to measure your progress and keep improving. 7. Conclusion. We have explored how reading can be a powerful tool for learning English. Let's quickly recap the main points. Reading expands your vocabulary by exposing you to new words in context. It improves your grammar by helping you see correct sentence structures naturally. It enhances your comprehension skills, making it easier to understand spoken and written English. Reading strengthens your writing and speaking abilities by giving you more ideas and confidence to express yourself. It provides cultural insights, allowing you to learn more about English-speaking countries and their way of life. Now, here is an important message to keep in mind. Consistency is key. Even if you read just a few minutes every day, you will see significant progress over time. Learning a language is a journey, and every small step brings you closer to fluency. So, what will you read next? Let us know in the comments what book, article, or story in English you are going to start reading. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Bookish 24/7 for more content to improve your English skills. Keep reading, keep learning, and see you in the next lesson. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to talk about something very important, something that many of us have faced when learning a new language. Can you guess what it is? Yes, we're going to talk about overcoming the fear of speaking English. If you've ever felt nervous, shy, or even scared to speak English, let me tell you one thing. You're not alone. Almost every English learner experiences this fear at some point. Maybe you're worried about making mistakes, or you're afraid that others might judge you. Perhaps you feel like your pronunciation isn't perfect, or you're scared that you might forget what to say. These feelings are very normal. Believe me, even fluent speakers have moments of doubt. But here's the good news. This fear can be overcome. Yes, it's possible to go from feeling anxious to speaking with confidence. And guess what? You don't have to be perfect to start. The truth is, learning to speak a language is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to fluency. So, what can you expect from this video? By the end of it, you'll feel more confident about speaking English, and you'll have practical, easy-to-follow strategies to help you break free from that fear. You'll learn how to practice effectively, how to approach mistakes, and how to build your confidence step by step. Here's a little preview. We'll explore why we're often afraid to speak English and how to understand those feelings. You'll discover the power of practice and repetition in building confidence. I'll share practical tips for boosting your self-assurance when speaking English, and we'll talk about how to create a safe environment to practice, because feeling supported is key to success. Before we dive in, I want to quickly remind you that this channel is here to help you learn, grow, and succeed. If you find my content helpful and want to support me, consider joining the channel as a member. Your support allows me to dedicate more time to creating quality content for you, content that's fun, educational, and full of useful tips. Plus, it helps me continue improving the channel and bringing even more exciting resources your way. So, thank you to everyone who has already joined, and thank you in advance if you're thinking about joining today. Now, are you ready to take that first step toward speaking English with confidence? Let's get started. Chapter 1. Why are we afraid to speak English? Let's start by addressing an important question. Why do so many of us feel afraid to speak English? This fear comes from several common reasons, and understanding these reasons is the first step toward overcoming them. Let's break them down. 1. Fear of making mistakes. One of the biggest reasons we're afraid is the thought of making mistakes. You might worry, what if I say the wrong word? What if my grammar is wrong? What if I pronounce something incorrectly? This fear can feel paralyzing and make us hesitant to speak at all. But here's an important truth. Mistakes are a natural part of learning. Think about a child learning to walk. They don't stop trying just because they fall down. They get up and try again. Learning a language is exactly the same. Mistakes are not failures. They are opportunities to grow. 2. Fear of being judged. Another common fear is worrying about what other people will think. You might imagine someone laughing at your pronunciation or giving you a strange look. This can feel intimidating, especially if you're speaking with fluent or native speakers. But let me tell you something. Most people are not judging you at all. In fact, many people admire the effort it takes to learn and speak a new language. Instead of focusing on imaginary criticism, remind yourself that you're doing something amazing, something many people are too afraid to even try. 3. Fear of not knowing what to say. Have you ever been in a situation where you're asked a question in English and your mind goes blank? This happens because we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. We want the perfect sentence, the perfect word, or the perfect reply, and when we can't think of one, we feel stuck. But guess what? Even native speakers struggle to find words sometimes. They pause, they use filler words like and and they take their time to think. It's completely okay to do the same. Normalizing these feelings. The good news is that these feelings are entirely normal. Almost everyone experiences them, whether they're learning English or another skill. Even fluent English speakers feel nervous in some situations, like giving a presentation or speaking to someone important. Here's something important to remember. Fear doesn't mean you're not good at English. It just means you're human. Every time you face this fear and choose to speak anyway, you're making progress. Over time, the fear gets smaller and your confidence gets bigger. Let me leave you with this thought. Perfection is not the goal. Communication is. Your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. It's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to feel nervous. What matters is that you try, learn, and keep improving. So, are you ready to face your fears and move forward? Let's dive into how you can practice speaking English in a way that feels safe and enjoyable. Chapter 2. The power of practice and repetition. Now that we've talked about why we're afraid to speak English, let's explore how to overcome that fear. The secret? Practice and repetition. Why practice is so powerful. Have you ever noticed that the more you do something, the less scary it feels? Speaking English works the same way. At first, it might feel awkward or uncomfortable, but with time, it becomes second nature. Think about when you first learned to ride a bike. At first, you were nervous. You probably wobbled and even fell, but the more you practiced, the steadier you became. Eventually, riding a bike felt natural, and you didn't even have to think about it. That's exactly how practice works. When learning to speak English, the key is repetition. Every time you practice, you're strengthening your brain's English muscles. The more you repeat, the easier and more natural it becomes. How practice helps overcome fear. Familiarity builds confidence. When you practice regularly, you become familiar with common phrases and patterns. This familiarity helps you feel prepared in real conversations, which reduces fear. Instead of thinking, "What do I say?" your brain goes, "Oh, I know this." Mistakes become learning opportunities. With practice, mistakes stop feeling like failures and start feeling like part of the process. You learn from them and move on. Over time, those mistakes become fewer and fewer. Small wins boost your motivation. Each time you say a word correctly or use a new phrase, you're making progress. These small wins build your confidence, showing you that improvement is possible. Simple exercises to practice speaking. 1. Talk out loud to yourself. Describe what you're doing during the day. "I'm cooking breakfast now," or "I'm going to the store." Say your thoughts out loud in English. Even simple sentences are helpful, like, "It's sunny today," or "I feel happy." 2. Record yourself speaking. Pick a short paragraph or a few sentences to read aloud and record yourself. Listen to the recording, notice areas to improve, and try again. This lets you hear how you sound and track your progress over time. 3. Use language apps. Apps like Duolingo, HelloTalk, or Cambly let you practice speaking in fun and interactive ways. Try using these apps for 5 to 10 minutes daily to make speaking English part of your routine. 4. Repeat phrases after native speakers. Watch a video or listen to an audio clip, then pause and repeat what you hear. Focus on matching the pronunciation and intonation. This mimics the way babies learn to copy sounds. 5. Practice with simple role plays. Imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant or introducing yourself to someone. Practice these scenarios out loud. Role-playing makes you feel prepared for real-life conversations. Consistency is the key. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep practicing. Let me share a simple but powerful reminder. Practice makes progress. The more you practice, the more confident you'll feel and the less fear you'll have. Mistakes will become stepping stones, and words that once felt difficult will roll off your tongue naturally. Let's move to the next chapter, where we'll discuss specific strategies to boost your confidence when speaking. Ready? Let's go. Chapter 3: Tips to Boost Confidence. Now that you understand why you might feel afraid and how practice helps, let's dive into strategies to boost your confidence when speaking English. These tips are practical and designed to help you feel at ease. 1. Start small and build your confidence. One of the best ways to boost your confidence is to begin with simple tasks that feel achievable. Think of these as warm-up exercises for your English speaking skills. 2. Speak with someone you trust. Find a friend, family member, or teacher who supports you. When you know the person won't judge you, it's much easier to speak up. For example, share your daily routine. I woke up at 7 a.m. and had breakfast. Practice small talk. How was your day? If you don't have someone to practice with, apps like Hello Talk or Tandem connect you with language learners and friendly native speakers. 3. Stick to simple sentences. There's no need to use long or complicated phrases. For instance, instead of saying, "Yesterday I wanted to go to the supermarket, but it was raining, so I decided to stay at home and read a book," say, "Yesterday it rained. I stayed home and read." Over time, as your confidence grows, you can expand your vocabulary and sentences. 4. Use scripts to prepare. If you feel nervous in certain situations, like introducing yourself or asking for help, prepare and practice scripts for common scenarios. For example, introducing yourself. "Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm learning English and love to read books." Ordering food, "Can I have a cheeseburger, please?" Practice these sentences out loud multiple times. When the situation arises, your words will feel natural and ready. 5. Celebrate small wins. Confidence grows when you acknowledge and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. For example, "Did you use a new word today? Awesome. Did you manage to hold a short conversation? Amazing." Reward yourself for these achievements, even if it's just with a kind word. "I did it," or "I'm improving." 6. Control your inner critic. Often, fear of speaking comes from negative self-talk. Replace these thoughts with encouragement. Instead of thinking, "I'll make mistakes and sound silly," think, "Making mistakes is how I learn." Instead of saying, "My English isn't good enough," say, "Every day my English gets better." 7. Practice positive visualization. Before speaking, close your eyes and imagine yourself confidently talking in English. Picture the words flowing easily, the person smiling, and the conversation going well. This technique helps you feel calm and prepared. 8. Set small, achievable goals. Breaking your learning journey into small goals makes the process manageable. For example, a goal for today, say 3 sentences in English. A goal for the week, learn and use 5 new words in conversation. Over time, these little steps add up, and you'll notice your confidence skyrocketing. 9. Focus on communication, not perfection. Remember, your goal is to communicate, not to sound perfect. People will appreciate your effort. Even if you make mistakes, instead of worrying about grammar, focus on getting your message across. For example, don't stress if you say, "She eat pizza," instead of "She eats pizza." The main point is, people will still understand you. A quick, confidence-boosting exercise. Here's an activity to try right now. Choose one phrase in English, for example, "Hi, how are you?" Say it out loud 3 times, slowly and clearly. Smile while speaking. This naturally makes you feel more relaxed and confident. Try this phrase with someone today. By starting small, using simple sentences, and focusing on communication over perfection, you'll slowly but surely gain confidence. Remember, everyone's learning journey is different. Celebrate your progress and don't compare yourself to others. In the next chapter, we'll tackle ways to overcome fear step by step and learn how to stay calm during real conversations. Keep going. You've got this. Chapter 4. Creating a safe speaking environment. Feeling safe and comfortable is essential to improving your English speaking skills. If you can practice in an environment where you don't feel judged or rushed, your confidence will grow naturally. Let's explore some simple ways to create or find that safe space for yourself. 1. Join language clubs or groups. Language clubs and groups are excellent for meeting people who are also learning English or who are happy to help others practice. Here's how to get started. Find local language meetups. Search for clubs in your area or events specifically for language learners. Apps like Meetup or websites like Eventbrite often list such gatherings. Join online language communities. Platforms like Discord, Facebook, or Reddit have communities dedicated to practicing English. You'll find many learners who face the same challenges and understand your journey. Why it helps? These clubs are non-judgmental spaces where everyone supports each other. The focus is on improvement, not perfection. 2. Practice with friends or family. Do you have friends or family members who are also learning English? Practicing together is an excellent way to feel safe while improving. Shared goals work together to achieve small goals, like holding a 5-minute conversation or practicing a list of new words. Correct each other kindly. Use phrases like, "I think this way sounds better," instead of pointing out errors too directly. If you don't have a peer to practice with, consider practicing with children if available. They're often curious, non-judgmental, and fun to talk to. 3. Find patient partners if possible. Connect with someone who already speaks English and is happy to help. Here's how to find the right partner. Language exchange platforms. Apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Conversation Exchange pair learners with fluent speakers. Many of these exchanges are free, and you can help them with your native language in return. Choose the right partner. Look for someone who is encouraging and understands that you're learning. A patient partner will correct you gently and cheer for your progress. Practice in low-stakes situations. Sometimes speaking in high-pressure situations like at work or school can feel intimidating. Start practicing in low-pressure settings where it's okay to make mistakes. 5. Order at a cafe or restaurant. Start with simple phrases like, "Can I have a coffee, please?" Talk to yourself in front of a mirror. Practicing solo can help reduce anxiety before speaking with others. 6. Use technology to create a safe zone. If you're not comfortable speaking with people yet, Use apps and tools to simulate conversations or get feedback. Record yourself. Use your phone to record yourself speaking, then play it back. Focus on improving pronunciation without being too self-critical. Speech recognition apps. Apps like Google Translate or Elsa Speak can give you feedback on how clear your pronunciation is. Virtual language partners. Try practicing with chatbots like those on Duolingo or Speak AI, which allow you to converse without fear of judgment. 7. Be honest about your level. When speaking with others, especially those who are fluent, don't hesitate to mention that you're still learning. Most people are understanding and will slow down, use simpler words, or avoid complex grammar. For example, you can say, "I'm practicing my English. Can we speak slowly? If I make a mistake, please correct me nicely." 8. Look for supportive communities. Many online and offline groups exist specifically to encourage and uplift language learners. YouTube comment sections. Many creators have interactive communities where viewers practice English by leaving comments. Learning groups on WhatsApp or Telegram. Join or create a small group where learners share tips, practice questions, or even fun challenges. Creating a safe environment doesn't mean you'll never feel nervous, but finding people and places where you feel supported will make speaking a lot less stressful. Remember, mistakes are natural. Every single one of us, including native speakers, makes them. The goal isn't perfection. It's making progress while feeling comfortable in your efforts. Chapter 5. Celebrating Progress. One of the best ways to stay motivated while learning English is to recognize and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step forward builds your confidence and keeps you excited to continue. Let's talk about how to monitor your growth and reward your efforts. Keep track of your achievements. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly encouraging. Here are simple ways to monitor your progress. Start a journal. Write down your goals and small wins in a notebook or on your phone. For example, today, I ordered food in English for the first time. This journal becomes a reminder of your journey and a motivator when you face challenges. Use milestones. Break your learning into small, measurable steps, like learning 50 new words, speaking with someone in English for 5 minutes without switching languages, or completing one full podcast or video and understanding most of it. Record yourself. Record a short video or audio clip every week or month. Compare your older recordings with newer ones to hear the improvement in your pronunciation, vocabulary, and confidence. Reward yourself. Learning English takes effort, and every effort deserves a reward. Celebrating accomplishments can keep your motivation high and help create positive associations with learning. Give yourself small treats after a practice session or reaching a goal. For example, watch a favorite movie, maybe even in English. Enjoy your favorite snack or meal, take a relaxing walk, or indulge in a hobby you enjoy. Plan bigger rewards for bigger goals, like holding a long conversation in English or finishing an online course. Reward yourself with something bigger, such as buying a book, game, or other item you've been wanting, especially if it's in English. Celebrate with others. Share your wins with friends, family, or online communities. Hearing, "Wow, great job," can be a huge motivator. Recognize progress beyond perfect scores. Progress isn't always about perfection. It's about effort and improvement. Learn to celebrate achievements that go beyond grammar or test results. Examples of progress to celebrate. You understood a conversation without asking for translations. You confidently ask for directions while traveling. You notice yourself using new words or phrases naturally in conversation. Reflect on your journey. Take a moment to look back at where you started and where you are now. Growth can sometimes feel slow, but when you reflect, you'll see just how much you've improved. Ask yourself, how many new words have I learned this month? Can I now say things I couldn't before? Do I feel more confident speaking, even if I still make mistakes? Build confidence through recognition. Celebrate progress, even when it feels small. It's these tiny steps that create big change over time. Remember, learning English is not just about reaching a final destination. It's about enjoying the journey and acknowledging each moment of success. Celebrating progress makes learning more fun and keeps you motivated to continue. When you reward your efforts and reflect on how far you've come, English becomes less of a challenge and more of an exciting adventure. We've reached the end of this journey, but this is just the beginning of your journey toward speaking English with confidence. Let's quickly recap and leave you with some motivation to take that next step. Remember, feeling nervous when speaking a new language is completely normal, but the fear doesn't stay forever. With consistent practice, small steps, and patience, you'll notice your confidence growing little by little. Think back to everything we talked about, understanding why we're afraid, practicing and repeating to build confidence, finding support in a safe environment, and celebrating every small success. Each of these steps is part of the process to becoming the confident English speaker you want to be. Each word you speak brings you closer to fluency. Fluency isn't about being perfect. It's about being able to express yourself and connect with others. Every sentence, even with mistakes, gets you closer. Every day of practice is a step forward, so don't let fear hold you back. Instead, use it as a signal that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, which is where growth happens. Learning and improving takes action. I have a few small steps you can take right now. Comment below and let me know which tip you found most helpful in this video. Was it celebrating progress, practicing with someone patient, or something else? Practice today. Use one idea from this video today, whether it's recording your voice, labeling things in your home, or speaking with a trusted friend. If this video inspired you or helped you in any way, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to help me create even more high-quality content, consider becoming a member of the channel. Your support allows me to dedicate more time and energy to providing tips, lessons, and strategies just like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing and stay confident. Have you ever wondered how babies learn to speak so naturally? They don't sit down with grammar books or stress over mistakes. It's all about listening, trying, and enjoying the process. What if you could use the same method to learn English? In this video, I'm going to show you how babies master their first language and how you can apply those same techniques to your English learning journey. Trust me, it's not magic. It's about understanding the process and making it simple and fun. Also, I want to take a moment to let you know that the join button is now available on this channel. If you'd like to support me in creating better content and dedicate even more time to helping you learn English, you can join my members community. Your support means so much and helps me improve the quality of the videos I make for you. Thank you again, from the bottom of my heart. Now, let's dive in and learn English like a baby. Chapter 1. How do babies learn language? Let's start by understanding how babies learn their native language. It's actually a very natural process. Babies don't take grammar lessons or memorize vocabulary lists. Instead, they do something very simple. They listen. From the moment they're born, babies are surrounded by language. They hear their parents and family members talk, and their brains absorb all the sounds, words, and patterns they hear. Even though they can't speak at first, they're already starting to understand. It's all about repetition and exposure. Babies hear the same words and phrases many times in different contexts. For example, they might hear someone say, "Here's your bottle," every time they're about to drink milk. Over time, they connect the word bottle to the object itself. The key here is that babies don't worry about grammar rules or making mistakes. They just listen, try to imitate, and learn from their surroundings. Think of your brain like a sponge soaking up everything it hears. That's exactly how babies learn, and it's a strategy you can use too. By focusing on listening and exposing yourself to English regularly, you can train your brain to recognize patterns, just like a baby does. So, let's see how you can apply this to your own learning journey. Chapter 2. What is comprehensible input? Now, let's talk about a powerful concept for language learning: comprehensible input. This is the idea of listening to or reading material that is just a little bit above your current level. It's not so difficult that it feels impossible, but it challenges you to grow and learn. Imagine this. When babies hear the word apple, they're usually looking at an apple or seeing someone hold one. This connection between the word and the object makes it easier for them to understand the context. As a learner, you can do the same thing. For example, watch kids' shows or videos with simple vocabulary. They're designed to be easy to understand and often use visuals to help you follow along. Listen to audio while reading subtitles that match what you hear. This allows you to connect the sounds to the written words and understand them more easily. The magic of comprehensible input is in the context. It allows you to absorb language naturally. When you see, hear, and experience things in English, your brain starts to make those connections, just like a baby's brain. The key is to find material that feels slightly challenging but not frustrating. That's where you'll grow the most. If you stay consistent and keep exposing yourself to input you can mostly understand, you'll see progress over time, just as babies do when they hear their first words. Next, let's look at how to apply this idea to your everyday learning. Chapter 3. Replicating Baby Steps as Adults. Now that we understand how babies learn and the power of comprehensible input, Let's break down how you can replicate their learning process step by step as an adult. Step 1. Listen. First, babies spend months just listening to the people around them before they even attempt to speak. You can do the same by immersing yourself in English every day. Choose content that feels interesting and not overwhelming. Podcasts made for beginners or intermediate learners often use slow and clear speech. Simple stories, like fairy tales or children's books, are also great for listening practice. Listening while reading along is a great way to enhance comprehension. YouTube channels with videos tailored to English learners are another excellent resource. Find topics you enjoy so that learning feels fun, not like a chore. The more you surround yourself with English, the more natural it will start to sound. Even if you don't understand every word, your brain will start recognizing patterns, rhythms, and common expressions. Step 2. Imitate sounds. After months of listening, babies don't immediately start forming sentences. They babble. They mimic the sounds they hear without worrying about mistakes. As an adult, this might feel silly at first, but it's incredibly effective. Try repeating words or phrases you hear in videos or conversations. Pay attention to pronunciation and tone. Focus on copying the rhythm and flow of sentences, even if you don't understand every word. Use resources like songs or short audio clips. Pause and imitate the speaker several times until it feels natural. This step is about building confidence and training your mouth to produce sounds that might not exist in your native language. Think of it as language exercise. Practice strengthens your muscles. Step 3. Respond without pressure. Babies don't use perfect grammar when they start speaking. They focus on reacting and getting their message across, even if it's not perfect. Adults can do the same. When watching videos or listening to audio, try answering simple questions or predicting what comes next. During casual conversations, don't overthink. React naturally, even if your sentences are short or grammatically imperfect. Use filler phrases like, "I'm not sure," or "Can you repeat that?" to buy time and stay engaged in a conversation. Remember, the goal is communication, not perfection. Every small response builds confidence and fluency over time. Practice. Tip: start small. Perhaps 10 minutes of listening and 5 minutes of imitation each day. Gradually increase your time as you feel more comfortable. Learning English like a baby doesn't mean rushing it. It means building skills slowly and steadily, one small habit at a time. Now that we've explored these steps, we'll dive deeper into creating a routine that makes these habits easy to follow. Let's move on. Chapter 4. Overcoming challenges. Learning English as an adult might not feel as effortless as it does for babies. Unlike them, we tend to overthink, compare ourselves to others, and feel embarrassed about making mistakes. Let's address those challenges and how you can overcome them. Acknowledging the frustration. It's normal to feel frustrated at times. You might listen to something and think, "Why can't I understand this?" Speaking might feel intimidating, especially in front of others. Remember, babies don't feel self-conscious. They try, fail, and try again, all without worrying about how they sound. We can learn from this mindset by being kinder to ourselves. Encouragement. Mistakes are not failures. They're stepping stones. Think of mistakes as feedback, showing you what to improve. If you said something wrong, now you know how to say it right next time. Nobody expects perfection, especially when you're learning. Native speakers admire the effort and courage it takes to learn a new language. Start small and be patient. You don't need to become fluent overnight. Start with small steps, just like babies do. Practice listening to one short video or audio clip a day. Try saying 1 or 2 sentences in English when talking to yourself or others, and celebrate every little win, like understanding a new word or saying a complete sentence without hesitation. Patience is key. Babies take years to become fluent in their native language, so allow yourself time to grow and improve. Every bit of effort adds up over weeks and months. You're not just learning a language, you're building a bridge to new opportunities and experiences. Mistakes and frustrations are just part of the journey, and they will make your success even sweeter. Let's keep going. In the next section, I'll guide you on how to create a routine that makes learning English simple and consistent. Chapter 5. Practical Tips to Apply Daily. Creating a habit of learning English doesn't have to be difficult or time-consuming. Small daily actions, done consistently, can lead to significant improvements over time. Let's explore a few simple yet powerful tips you can start using today. Watch 10 minutes of simple English videos daily. Spend just 10 minutes watching videos designed for learners, such as children's shows, basic YouTube tutorials, or short stories. Focus on understanding the context, even if you don't know every word. Repeat key phrases or words you hear. This helps you internalize pronunciation and sentence structure. Label items at home in English. Make your home an immersive environment by labeling common objects like doors, windows, tables, and appliances with sticky notes in English. Every time you see the word mirror or fridge, you're reinforcing your vocabulary without extra effort. Practice repeating words or short phrases aloud. Choose simple phrases like, "How are you today?" or "I would like some coffee, please." Say them out loud multiple times, mimicking how native speakers would say them. Don't worry about making mistakes. Practice is what counts. Find a partner for basic conversations. Practice with someone who is also learning English, or even a native speaker willing to help. Keep the conversation simple, encourage each other, and talk about your day or describe your surroundings. Practicing with someone keeps you accountable and builds your confidence. The power of consistency. Consistency is what turns small actions into big results. Think of learning English as planting a seed. If you water it a little every day, it will grow strong and steady over time. Set a daily goal that feels doable, whether it's learning 3 words or practicing for 15 minutes. It's not about how much you do in one day. It's about doing a little every day. These tiny steps create a strong foundation for long-term success. Let's quickly review what we've learned today. First, listen to English as much as you can, just like babies do. Then, Imitate the sounds and phrases you hear to train your speaking skills. Don't be afraid to respond, even if it's not perfect. Communication is the goal. Finally, embrace mistakes as part of the learning process. They're not failures, but steps toward improvement. Learning English like a baby doesn't mean it's easy, but it's natural. It's about being patient and consistent. And trust me, it works. Start today. Choose one simple habit to try. Maybe watching a short video, labeling items in English, or repeating key phrases. What step will you take first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear about your journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel to keep growing your English skills with me. And if you'd like to support me directly and help me create even more high-quality content, join my channel as a member. Your support means so much and allows me to dedicate more time to helping you succeed. Thank you. Let's make English learning part of your everyday life, step by step, habit by habit. See you in the next video. How to gain fluency in English. The complete guide from zero to fluent achieving fluency in English is a journey, and while it may seem daunting, the right approach can make it easier and even enjoyable. If you follow the right steps and put in consistent effort, fluency is well within your reach. In this guide, I'll walk you through 5 crucial steps to help you move from zero to fluent, with practical tips and strategies that can transform your English skills. Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing great. Welcome back to another session of Learning English with me. Today, we're diving deep into how to become fluent in English. Whether you're just starting out or already at an intermediate level, this guide will help you advance your skills in all aspects of English: speaking, listening, reading, and even writing. I often get questions like, "Where do I start?" or "I understand some English, but speaking is really tough." If this sounds like you, don't worry. In today's lesson, we'll explore how to go from zero, or wherever you are now, to fluency. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the lessons I post. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends. Now, let's talk about what it really means to go from zero to fluent. Many people think of zero as a starting point where they know nothing. But if you can understand some English, you're already past zero. In fact, understanding English puts you a few steps ahead, and we can consider that as starting from level 2 or 3 rather than 0. Fluency, our goal, can be considered level 10. So if you're already understanding English, you're well on your way. Listening and understanding are powerful tools, and they form the foundation upon which we will build fluency. Step 1. Mastering Survival English. The first and most basic step toward fluency is mastering survival English. What is survival English, you ask? It's the most fundamental form of spoken English, focused on essential vocabulary and phrases that will allow you to communicate your basic needs in an English-speaking environment. It's not about perfect grammar, but about getting your point across. For instance, imagine you are in a foreign country where no one speaks your native language. You might not be able to form complete sentences, but you could say key words like food, hungry, or restaurant to communicate that you need to find a place to eat. The person you're speaking to will understand that you're hungry and looking for a restaurant. This is the essence of survival English, using important, meaningful words to make yourself understood, even if your sentence structure isn't perfect. Survival English focuses on the vocabulary necessary for day-to-day interactions. You don't need to worry about complex grammar rules at this stage. Instead, focus on words that carry the most meaning. If you know how to say price, food, or where, you can navigate a lot of situations. These are the building blocks of language, and they are essential for giving you the confidence to start speaking English in real-life situations. Once you've mastered survival English, you'll feel more confident communicating in English, which brings us to Step 2. Step 2. Start speaking from day one. Fluency doesn't come from waiting until you're perfect. It comes from practicing. That's why my second step for you is to start speaking from day one. I know it can be intimidating, especially when you feel like you don't know enough English yet. But the sooner you start speaking, the faster you will progress. There's a common mistake many learners make. They delay speaking, thinking they'll start after they've improved their vocabulary or mastered more grammar. But this is a flawed approach. Speaking is a skill, and like any skill, you can only get better with practice. So, if you're learning new words, grammar, or pronunciation, don't wait to use them. Speak, whether it's with a friend, a tutor, or even yourself in the mirror. Start forming sentences using your new vocabulary and practice out loud. I encourage you to start small. Maybe you practice with a few sentences each day. You can describe what you're doing, talk about your day, or even try reading aloud. It's not about being perfect. It's about getting comfortable with speaking English regularly. And don't worry about making mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process. If you're looking for more tips on how to get started, I have a whole video on speaking from day one, which you can check out. But for now, just remember, start speaking from the moment you begin learning. Even if you only know a few words, putting them into sentences will help you grow. Step 3. Focus on good English input. One of the most powerful ways to improve your fluency is through input, specifically listening and reading in English. Language is learned through exposure, so you need to surround yourself with good English input every day. The more you listen and read, the faster you'll start absorbing the language. Listening is particularly important. It's not only about understanding words, but about getting a feel for how English is spoken, how sentences flow, the rhythm of the language, and the way words are pronounced. Think about how you learned your native language. You listened to others speak it long before you could speak it yourself. Similarly, by listening to English as much as possible, you'll start to internalize its patterns. You can listen to podcasts, watch movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, or even music in English. Choose topics that interest you so it feels less like studying and more like entertainment. Over time, you'll notice that you're able to understand more, and this will naturally help you when it comes to speaking. Reading is the second form of input. When you read, you get to see how words are written, how sentences are constructed, and how ideas are communicated in a more formal way. Start with simple texts, like children's books or easy news articles, and gradually work your way up to more complex material. As you become more comfortable, reading will reinforce your vocabulary and grammar and help you feel more confident with written English. Step 4. Consistent speaking practice. Now that you've started speaking and listening, it's time to take your speaking skills to the next level with consistent practice. Fluency doesn't happen overnight, and practicing every day is key to making progress. But here's an important tip. Practice with a purpose. It's not enough to just speak. You need to make sure your practice sessions are focused and productive. Set specific goals for each practice session. For example, one day you might focus on describing your day in English. Another day, you might practice speaking about a specific topic, like your favorite hobby or an experience you had. One method I highly recommend is the mirror talk technique, where you practice speaking to yourself in the mirror. This might sound strange at first, but it's incredibly effective. By looking at yourself while you speak, you can practice your pronunciation, facial expressions, and even body language, just like you would in a real conversation. Plus, it builds confidence because you're talking out loud without the pressure of speaking to another person. Another important tip is to incorporate shadowing. Shadowing involves listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say in real time. This helps you improve your pronunciation, intonation, and speed. You can shadow YouTube videos, movies, or podcasts. It's a powerful way to practice speaking and listening at the same time. Don't forget that fluency comes from practice, so commit to speaking every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. The more you practice, the closer you'll get to your goal of becoming fluent in English. Step 5. Master basic grammar. Many learners either over-focus on grammar or try to avoid it entirely. But to become fluent in English, you need a balanced approach. Basic grammar is essential for forming correct sentences and communicating clearly, but you don't need to become a grammar expert. Think of grammar as the framework that supports your sentences. Without understanding some basic grammar rules, you'll struggle to form proper sentences, which can make your speaking sound hesitant or unclear. The good news is, you don't need to learn every single grammar rule out there. Focus on the basics, like how to use present, past, and future tenses, as well as basic sentence structures. For example, understanding how to use simple sentences like I am, he does, or they have, will give you the confidence to speak without worrying too much about making mistakes. Once you have these structures down, you'll be able to form more complex sentences naturally over time. If grammar feels overwhelming, start with small, manageable lessons. I have a series of videos on basic grammar designed specifically for learners who want to improve their spoken English. So check them out if you want to strengthen your grammar foundation. Bonus step: focus on all 4 skills. To truly become fluent in English, you need to focus on all 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Each of these skills supports the others, and together they will help you achieve well-rounded fluency. Listening. Listen to English as much as you can. This could be through podcasts, audiobooks, TV shows, or conversations with native speakers. The more you listen, the more your brain will naturally absorb the language. Speaking. Speaking is your ultimate goal, and it's something you should practice daily. Find a language partner, speak to yourself, or even record yourself speaking and play it back to see how you can improve. Reading. Read anything and everything that interests you in English: books, blogs, news articles. These will help you expand your vocabulary and improve your understanding of grammar and sentence structure. Writing. Writing will help reinforce everything you learn, and it's a skill that often gets overlooked. Keep a journal in English or write short stories. Writing gives you time to think about the words you're using and helps you practice forming sentences in a structured way. And there you have it, my 5 essential steps to going from 0 to fluent in English. Remember, fluency is a journey, and every step you take is progress toward your goal. By focusing on survival English, speaking from day one, listening and reading regularly, practicing consistently, and mastering basic grammar, you'll be well on your way to becoming fluent. Before we wrap up, let me know in the comments below what your biggest challenges are in learning English, and I'll try to address them in future videos. And of course, if you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more English learning tips and lessons. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. Morning routine. Talking about your day. My name is Ariel, and I'm very happy that you are here today. In this video, we are going to talk about our morning routines. A morning routine is a set of activities that you do when you wake up. It can include many simple actions like getting up, washing your face, eating breakfast, and more. Talking about your morning habits is very useful for everyday English. When you discuss what you do in the morning, you learn many common words and phrases. You will use words like get up, sleep in, oversleep, morning person, and skip. These words help you describe your day and make your conversations more natural. Learning these expressions will help you speak with more confidence and understand others better. I will share my own morning routine and explain some useful tips for you. I hope that by watching this video, you will learn new vocabulary and find it easier to talk about your daily life in English. Please stay with me until the end, as I will give you many useful tips and explain all the key words. Let's begin our journey to better English together. A morning routine is a series of actions that you do every morning when you wake up. It is the start of your day. A good routine helps you prepare for the day ahead and gives you energy. When you have a set routine, you know what to expect, and your mind is ready to work. Mornings are important because they give you a fresh start. Every morning, you have a new chance to begin again. When you wake up, it is like a clean page. You can decide what you want to do and plan your day. For me, the morning is a calm time when the world is quiet. I enjoy having a cup of tea and thinking about my goals before the day becomes busy. This time helps me feel peaceful and ready. Many people follow similar activities in the morning. For example, most people get up, brush their teeth, take a shower, dress up, and prepare breakfast. Some people eat toast, eggs, or cereal. Others read the news, listen to music, or take a short walk. These common activities are important because they help you wake up and start the day with energy. A well-planned morning routine can make your whole day better. It helps you feel organized and reduces stress. When you know what you are going to do, you can work more easily and have more time for other activities. A routine is like a small ritual that makes you feel calm and focused.